Hey, what up, YouTube? I finished it. The Furitek scythe. The purple one. The purple people eater. Just a hint of purple in those wheels. That turned out pretty sweet. I'm still gonna paint the servo horns. I literally just finished it, turned it on, updated the firmware in the Tegu main board I put in it, and got the four-wheel steering part of it all configured and my endpoint set. So I can maybe show you how it works in this video, but I want to give you a quick little rundown of what I kind of did to it. I'm not the best wire person either, but what is it? Got No Chill RC. He has been doing his live shows, and gosh, I've tuned in, even been on one of them. But the Maz Designs there, he kind of turned me on to shielding your wires. I mean, when you're real close with the camera, you can see through that wire shielding right there and actually see the color of the wires. But I mean, from a distance, like, that looks tremendously better than just the wires, you know? So I'll go ahead and start at the front. Mudslinger tires, RC Addiction steering linkage, a Reefs 99 servo, Mofo servo mount, Mofo steering knuckles, Mofo brass axle, diff cover. I put the patty weights on here. It has a 4mm extension axle with the Mofo 12-tooth overdrive gear in there, which is, I think, the most you can get right now. Anyways, pretty excited about that. I went ahead and put the boulder bars on here. Probably doesn't need it, but I like the way they look. I chose to do a deadbolt front end, so it's super short. See if you got a good view of that or not. I think it looks pretty sweet. Got the Avatar receiver in there hanging out. The black printed motor mount from Furitek with the Furitek Komodo, which is what this chassis was made for. It all crammed in there, believe it or not. The Tegu main board is just double back taped onto the top of the lid there. And then I wrapped it and then just kind of double back taped the Avatar on top of it all. You don't want to just set your bare electronics on top of bare electronics. You need some sort of barrier between them so you don't ruin anything. Just helpful tip there. As we walk around, I chose to go with the Gladiator rear end. So super short up front. I'm hoping by doing this, my center of gravity is more, you know, in this region. And with all that overdrive and not worried about so much over articulation, I'm hoping it's a climber. I really am hoping this thing can just take off uphill and go. I mean, the front articulation isn't awful. It's not, you know, a whole lot. I mean, it might go a little higher than that. There, the tire lifts up. That's the deadbolt front end, 4-link. Links by RC Addiction for both the front and rear links and steering linkage. When I do my links, I do not like to have any gaskets. The only gasket I put on it is out here on Mofo's servo mount. All the other ones are, the bolt has a support on either side of the link. Don't really need a gasket. I went with the Mofo RC protection plate, which seems to be fairly decent. I mean, it seems fairly legit. You know, I've got a steering protector over here on my Mini Z, but it's, you know, thinner metal than what Mofo's got. I mean, Mofo feels for real. And I like how it slides direct to the edge. There is a little gap in there from Mofo's skid plate, his brass one. There's just a little space, but this is smooth. Hopefully, with how tight it fits, I mean, it's snugged right up there. It's only this angle at which the skid plate meets the frame, where this is a much softer angle. I'm hoping that it catches less on obstacles. Got his oil shocks on there. I really dig them. I think they are, you know, fairly smooth. And they're just slightly bigger than stock, I guess. I don't know. I've never owned a stock SCX24. I don't know what the shocks were like. No clue. Let's see if you can see it inside there. I've got the Mofo brass transmission case with his bulletproof brass, or not brass, it's bulletproof hardened steel transmission. Another reefs on the rear, and so the rear I went all aluminum with the Mofo aluminum front axle with his aluminum diff cover and his aluminum servo mount, just to help keep that front end weight bias by all brass up front, all aluminum in the rear except for the knuckles. Now on the rear I did not go with the patty weights. I just have a straight pass there with the little silver bushing. Help protect the axle a little bit better, but we'll see how it goes. It is 3S, Mofo's little 3S battery. That's how it looks. Now, the battery is sitting on top of my coiled up servo wires there. You can kind of see maybe a jumbled mess. Sometimes it shuts all the way, as you can see. I've definitely got some wires. There's my on-off button for the car. You have to really push the button. I had to chop it so the lid would close. You just shave the button in half with like your Dremel cutting wheel or something. Battery wires are prevent that from going down. Anyways, I just got two ghetto Velcro straps. They kind of hold it in, but I mean, the car's not going super fast or anything. You just kind of got to strap it in. If it tumbles, you're picking it up anyways. But hopefully not anywhere crazy where it's going to be tumbling. I was going to turn it on. And maybe show you guys how it operates. There, sorry. I'm trying to adjust this camera. I got a makeshift camera stand going. Maybe that'll stay. Alright. I already binded it right up, as you can see. If you can. It's on the rear steer mode, and it's just as simple as hitting the button up to change. And I mean, you can. What is that noise?
Maybe. What? Put the cereal away, please. What?
Already set the endpoints, you know, but pretty neat, very neat. I love the way this thing creeps. I think I got the gear mesh figured out better in this one. I spent an awful lot of time with the Dremel I mean, the parts are fantastic from Mofo. I mean, I think any metal parts, if you really want it, you know, to flex the best it can, you want it loose. You know, it doesn't sit down a whole lot, but it is solid, you know, and that is just solid car. I like it, you know, I really dig the Micro Shark, but it is a scale vehicle, you know? It's a model. I mean, Micro Shark. It's a pretty sweet ride. I mean, look at all that. I gotta do some touch-up paint work on it. I still have the lights for it. I mean, that's really what I need. Just to find some time to put the lights. And I mean, this Micro Shark is juicy there in the back. Like, it just is awesome. Mofo portals, I, you know, haven't had an issue with them. I think they're fantastic. I think it really helped the Micro Shark. I get to use the smaller tires and have the axle clearance like the mudslingers here. I mean, that axle clearance is, you know, close to the same. So cool, it's on 3S. Love that drag brake. Well, anyways, now I'm just toying around. I'm gonna try and, you know, drive this tomorrow sometime. It's gonna be sweet. I'll have some cool videos, but I don't think I left anything out on this. Mofo's battery, his 3S battery, I think I already said that, but I mean, there's nothing to him, you know. The only thing is, you know, you just buying all the parts to put it together and getting it all to fit. Now, I still have to Loctite some things. If you're gonna actually go out and use them, it is definitely best to Loctite everything. If you're just, you know, kind of driving it around the house like I'm about to go do, not that big a deal, but I am going to Loctite it. I think that turned out pretty good with them purple hubs. I didn't really want it purple, you know, it is purple already. I think it looks pretty badass. Yeah, them wire shields really clean it up. I mean, they're in there, but doesn't look anything like it did. Looks clean. Looks real clean. This thing looks like it'd do some serious crawling. There's a beefy setup. I weighed it 526 grams. I was going for an under a pound. And I ended up weighing in just about the same as the Micro Shark. The Micro Shark is, I want to say 533, somewhere in there, and this was 526. So I'm going to get a pretty darn good comparison between these two vehicles. Here's your scale build right there. I mean, Komodo, Tegu, and then the same thing. The Komodo and the Tegu. I don't mind that 3S board. You just stack your receiver on it. That's what I've done now twice. Although you do get that Avatar and the Lizard Pro, and you can marry them up together and create quite a small footprint, electronic footprint on your rig. I mean, I got a lot of wires jammed into a board. You know, everything plugs just straight into that board. And that's kind of why I got it. It's just, you know, more or less a plug and play kind of board. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna paint those servo horns probably tonight. And it's gonna be pretty sweet cruising them rocks. 3S, I mean, I got two. Anyways, there it is. All right, you know, until the next time, I'm going to do some comparisons with these. I mean, I don't see a lot of whole scythe videos out there, so it'd be really cool. I'm going to have Micro Shark. Ain't a whole lot of Micro Shark videos out there. And the scythe, the purple people eater. So cool. Till next time. Peace.